One, two, three, four.
What's up, everyone, and welcome back to school. But don't worry, everything is cool. I'm your host, Jalissa, and of course, I'm here with the boys, Steve and Brandon. Say what's up, you guys.
What's up?
How y'all doing today?
I'm doing pretty good, bro. I'm proud of you. That was a really good intro. That was like the most natural I've heard you do it.
I'm
That's
finally
good.
getting it, y'all.
Yeah. Brandon, go ahead. Let me hear it. Can you do it?
No, it's got to be one per show, man. Come on.
Aw. That's not fair, bro. I could do it anytime. I could do it with my eyes closed. I
I'll
could do
edit
it
it out.
upside down.
Can you though? At the end of the day, I edit the show. I'm
Oh, you're going to edit me to say something controversial
yeah,
right
I'm
now?
basically God.
I hate, and then just add whatever word in the rest of this episode that
It'll
like
be
I
an
say.
unexpected word. It'll be like, I don't know,
Right.
bees
I
or
hate
something.
sausages. I hate bees. Oh, actually, you know what? This relates later to a topic I'm going to talk about later, but I'll save it for then. First thing, we're going to kick it off right away. Brandon, what did you bring for us this week?
I don't know when it happened, but I saw it yesterday. So I'm assuming it happened like yesterday. At the time you guys see this though, it'll be a week. So,
Oh, yeah, that's true.
I saw there's a video, right, of Keke Palmer, of True Jackson VP, and Nope. She's at an award show, right?
I think she's at an Usher concert.
Yeah, Usher
Yeah.
concert.
Yeah.
It's an
And
Usher
she's
concert.
dancing like on Usher,
Yeah.
and she has like, I guess, a revealing dress. I didn't think it was that revealing. I feel like I've seen people wear more revealing shit. But anyways, her like boyfriend, husband, or I guess the father of her child.
Yeah.
I don't know that they're like married, but
I mean, he says his wife, but I don't know.
I don't
Her
know.
baby daddy.
Yeah.
Yeah, but he responded like to the clip on Twitter, and he was like, "It's the dress for me. Like, you're a whole mom."
Yeah.
And then
He doubled down, right? He
well,
put a tweet.
because people like, there was a bit of a backlash on that, and then he said something like, "We live in a society."
Yeah, he literally said
he,
that, right?
he said we live in a society where like it's weird if a man doesn't want his significant other and mother of his child being like showing. He says like
Being like a
booty-
hoe,
Yeah.
no?
he says showing like her booty
No,
cheeks.
just showing.
Oh, yeah,
her,
showing
like,
cheeks,
yeah.
right?
Showing cheeks and dancing on another man, and then
He said, "We live in a generation where a man of the family doesn't want the wife and mother of his kids to showcase booty cheeks to please others, and he gets told how much of a hater he is. This is my family and my representation. I have standards and morals to what I believe. I rest my case."
What do you guys think? What do you think, Julie?
But yeah,
As a woman.
he said, "It's the outfit, though. You a mom."
yeah.
Well, because I think he doubled down, right? Because at first people I heard were like, oh, maybe he's like playing around or like, he's joking around when he's like, it's the, because that could mean anything, right?
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
it's the
Like,
outfit
yeah.
for me or whatever.
Yeah.
And then he's like, no, I fucking hate that she's wearing that.
Yeah,
Like,
that she's
just-
showing off.
yeah.
Well, because
just to make it clear.
Because just to, I guess, give a little more of like what she's actually wearing. So it's kind of like a bodysuit, but it's like a see-through, like it has like mesh. So it's like a kind of like a bathing suit, but it's like a fabric of mesh over it kind of thing. And yeah, I guess like her boobs are kind of like showing, and then she's like her butt, because it's like a bikini like way or whatever you want to call it.
What do you think, Julie?
I
As a
don't know.
woman?
I was very like, bruh, what the fuck? I was just like, I just kept thinking of like, why is it that like, a clothing just kind of is like offensive or like is inappropriate in a way. Like I was kind of like, I don't get it. Like, what about it? Is it bad? Like,
I saw someone on TikTok say like, why does what you wear doesn't affect your ability as a mother?
yeah.
Yeah,
And that's why I was just like, because I kept thinking like, I think it's just women are so like objectified that like just the form of their clothing, because it's the same thing of like when you, like I remember before when you would hear about like sexual assault and all that, and people are like, oh well, you shouldn't have been wearing that, and it's like what I wear doesn't mean like do this to me, violate me, or look at me this way. It's just a form of clothing. Like it's just me expressing like how I like to dress. Like that doesn't mean anything, and that shouldn't make you think that like what I'm wearing is that like I want you, like I'm a hoe or something like that. Like it's
Yeah.
not, like that's not what it is. It's just a form of clothing. It's just a form of expression. Like it doesn't mean anything other than that, And I get it that like it's sometimes like we do that where it's like we'll take pictures and like we just feel nice about ourselves. It's not really like showing off or trying to showcase our bodies and like for that to be violated, you know?
Do you think there's ever a circumstance where you feel as though a partner is valid in telling their other partner that they shouldn't be dressing a certain way?
I've seen people say that, bring that up, but he could have done it privately, but he chose to do it publicly. Like,
but I guess beyond the situation, and
I-
then we'll go back to it. But what do you think?
I feel like there is a point where I guess if it makes your partner uncomfortable, sure. But I feel like at the same time you shouldn't be dictating it that much. Like it shouldn't be like an issue. And I always think of like, I feel like you knew this person before you started dating them. You knew how they dressed, like you knew what they liked, what they didn't like. You already knew that beforehand. And it's like to start dictating that, because I'm sure that if you go on dates, she's dressing up. Like she's dressing up the way she likes to dress up. So like when you guys are going on dates or hanging out or whatever, you're already seeing like what she wears, what she does and all that. And like, you don't mind it then, right? So then why do you mind it after you start dating her? Like what's the issue within that? And it's just like, I get if you want to put your partner's like feelings into consideration because it makes them uncomfortable, right? Like that's a talk between you guys and that's however you, I guess, talk it out. But at the same time, I'm like, it's just clothes, you know, like I don't think there's anything like offensive about it, like, or like offending your partner in any way of like what they wear.
I think the thought process that I see a lot of men kind of have is that I think when they see women dress up, they take it as though they're dressing up for them.
Mm-hmm.
So I think in bringing it back to your example of like, oh, why does it change before and after you get with them? I think it's because a lot of men see it as though like, well, you dress that way to attract a partner. Why are you still dressing that way if you already have me?
Mm-hmm.
I think that's the thought process that I kind of see. What would you say is the response to that?
I feel like, I don't think it's because it is. I feel like it is because men see it as like, you're doing that for me. But what in reality is they're just dressing like that because they like dressing like that. Like they feel comfortable in that. Like that's how they just like to express themselves. Like if I like a certain top, and it's very revealing, I just like it. Like, I'm not thinking, like, oh, my man's gonna like this. Like, yeah, like, now maybe I do put it into a small consideration because now I am in a relationship. But it's just, like, it's like, I'm not, if you don't like it, like, I'm not gonna be, like, I don't know. I just feel like it isn't, like, it shouldn't be, I guess, a big deal of that, of, like, what she is wearing. I don't know.
Does it change? Does it change depending on like the genders? Would you say you would have a problem with it if, like, let's say you're a man, I don't know, wore like a crop top or something, or wore like a see-through shirt, and then like he wore it before you guys were together, right? And then let's say like girls really like that about him, and then when he got with you, he would still wear that type of clothing. Did it change? Would it change then?
I personally feel like no.
You personally?
I personally feel like okay, like that's. Like, I've seen him wear that before, and, like, I think he generally just really likes the shirt. That's what I would think. So I would be like, okay, he's wearing it again. And I think...
But I'm talking, like, you're, like, dating this, like, fucking, like, Chris Evans-ass fool with, like, the physique and shit, and there's these girls coming around, like, you know, like, obviously feeling him up and, like, really feeling him.
Yeah.
Would it change then?
No, because I feel like it's all just... if I'm secure in my relationship and I know that like he likes me and like he's gonna be with me and I'm very secure in it, I don't think I would mind him and I would care what he's wearing, because I'd be like, he likes me, he's with me. Like basically at this point, I'm lucky that I got him too. You know, like I'd be like, if I got like this guy, I'm not gonna trip about what he's wearing, like because I know that he's gonna be loyal to me. And if he's not, then at that point just fuck him, you know. But like. If I know and I'm very confident in my relationship, like it doesn't matter what he's wearing. Like,
but okay, so I'm thinking about this thing, and it's funny because you've heard me say this before, but I've said it as a joke. I've never really said this, but it's that thing about take care of your girl, or I'll take care of her for you.
Yeah.
Have you heard of that? Do you think there's ever any scenarios or situations where you should be quote unquote looking out for your partner so it doesn't get stolen, or is it like that? Is it like no matter what, if you're with somebody, bottom line, you should never have to worry about that because you guys made a commitment?
Yeah.
Yeah. You
well,
think
because for me, I generally feel like if this person wants to be with me, they'll be with me. If they would rather be with somebody else, then like I'm letting them go. Like I'm not gonna force somebody to stay with me if they don't want to be with me. Like how if they find somebody else attractive or like they're starting to like somebody else, then I would rather them just like go with them. Like I'm not gonna force someone to be in a relationship with me, kind of thing.
Really quick, you said if they find somebody else attractive, do you think that it's bad to be in a relationship and still find other people attractive?
Brandon,
what do you think?
No,
I don't think so.
You don't think so? Why not?
I feel like it's
because I feel like you can't control that.
Yeah.
You're gonna find people attractive. It's just if you act on it or not. I feel like that's, I don't know. I don't really get. I feel like, I don't know. A lot of these, like, if you are to be like, you can't be attracted to anyone, it sounds a little too possessive. You know, like people are attracted
to what?
Possessive. I feel like you really can't control who you're attracted to. You know, people have celebrity crushes. Everybody's got something like that. You know, it's just if you act on it or not. You know.
Mm-hmm.
But I guess back to the Keke Palmer thing a little bit. I've seen people say, aside from the clothing, it says she's dancing on Usher.
Yeah.
Like I haven't watched the video. I've just seen the still where she's like, you know, kind of next to him.
She's about to go ham.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know.
But he didn't complain about that.
Yeah, he didn't complain about that. So I'm like, so then what's the problem? You know?
Yeah. I saw that too, and I was like, but I was like, that wasn't him actually tripping about it. That was other people. Yeah. So it was kind of like, there's another argument to it, which is like, that's another thing of like, I guess respecting your partner, right? If they're like, oh, dancing on somebody else, and like that's kind of disrespectful. And that depends on your relationship too. Like because that's Usher, right? And like that's also Keke Palmer. Like they're both big famous people, you know. And like it's just kind of, I saw it more as like a kind of like a promotion because it's for both of them. Like they're both big
like
stars.
Publicity.
Yeah. And like at least that's how I saw it. But if you have a partner and you're like dancing on someone else and like your partner's not comfortable with that, then that's a whole different thing. That's a whole different topic, you know.
Do you guys remember this movie when we were kids called Hall Pass? Do you remember that?
The one with Lightning McQueen?
Yeah, I never saw it, but I knew the concept of it. It's like that. What is it? It's that like apparently you get like one pass to like quote unquote cheat on your partner because you guys like discussed it prior. So it's like a card you have, like you use it. And I wanted to bring it up because you're talking about how they're both celebrities. Do you think that do you think that that's a valid excuse? Do you think if a person meets somebody because of their like such rarity, like they're a celebrity, like it's Keke Palmer, like you meet like, who's your favorite? Who's a celebrity crush you have? I'll just say Halle Berry. I'll just say Halle Berry. If you had a girl and you meet Halle Berry, would you think that it's valid that she lets you at least just like dance with her? I'm not talking about having sex with her, but you think it's valid to at least like she like grinds on you and stuff?
I just wouldn't. I feel like that's not me. I feel like, I mean, I think it's case by case basis. You know, I feel like if your partner's uncomfortable with like dancing with like, I get like, you know, ballroom dancing, I guess. But
you like, ballroom dance with Halle Berry?
Like grinding, twerking, all that stuff.
I get. I mean,
yeah. What if she starts going off on you, bro? Like it starts at ballroom dancing, and then
I get.
The DJ changes the song.
I get if like that makes people uncomfortable. You know what I mean? I get if that makes people uncomfortable. So, but like to each his own. I feel like if that doesn't make you uncomfortable and you're cool with that, then I don't judge you.
Right, what if reverse? What if your girl is like, yo, I'm at this party, calls you up, like Chris Evans is here or whatever. Chris Evans, who's a celebrity that you like despise but can admit is like good looking?
I don't think I really despise any of them.
Well, despise is a strong one.
I feel like
Jared Leto.
I feel like I would just keep the same energy. I feel like if I wouldn't do it, then I feel like I wouldn't. Not to do it, I wouldn't ask you to do anything I wouldn't do type thing. You know what I mean? Like I wouldn't set up. You know what I mean? Like I wouldn't be like, oh, but I could do it, you know, or but you could do it, and vice versa. Like if I was like, if I think it's cool, then I have to think it's cool for you. You know what I mean? So whatever boundary you set, I think it has to go both ways.
Okay, no, that's valid. That's healthy.
I just keep thinking of like the clothing thing because I'd be like, bro, if my man got mad at me for what I was wearing, I'd be like, bro, why you tripping?
It's like, don't I look good?
And then he'd be like, it's because people stare at you. And I'm like, so they're just staring. Like, I'm sorry you got a good looking girlfriend. Like, how is that my fault? Like, it's just like, I don't know. I just feel like it makes me mad because I guess it just seems like it's like he really wants to like, he's, I guess, possessive, and like in a way he wants to like really dictate what she's wearing.
I guess.
And it's just like, bro, like, What the fuck?
I guess when he was like, it's my family, it's my, you know, it's my image. You know what I mean? It sounded very like, you know,
objectification, right?
Yeah,
you're my object.
Like this is my car, this is my house, type shit. You know, where it's kind of like, I mean,
and that's what I was saying. I was like, when it's an issue like that, it's because they're like really objectifying her, because they're like you're mine, and like I need to, like, you need to listen to what I like, and what, like, I don't like you wearing this because you're mine, kind of thing. And it's just like, what?
Yeah, I feel like it's also like a power dynamic in it, where it definitely feels, because I'm thinking about possession and like objectification, and I'm thinking
she's
about
more famous than him.
Yeah, so it's like no, like you can't, you know, you're doing something that I didn't like. I don't agree with, like, how dare you, you know? And it feels very toxic in that sense.
Yeah, because what does he say? He said something about his, like, beliefs, no? Or something like that?
It's his standards or some shit like that. I have a reputation to uphold.
I have my personal ethics or whatever bullshit, you know? Everybody has their own.
Oh, yeah, he said, I have standards and morals.
Yeah, I don't think
I was just like, bro, what?
Wrong to dress like that.
But I also think that like standards and morals is also so subjective. Like, I hate when people say shit like that. Like, even beyond the Keke Palmer thing.
Yeah,
I feel like your own morals and ethics are what you believe. It doesn't mean that that's objectively what's true.
Yeah,
you know,
just because something makes you uncomfortable doesn't mean it's morally wrong.
Yeah.
Because, like, I mean, I could fucking, like, think, like, oh, you know, I think it's morally wrong to wear jeans and denim because of the way that it's made in factories. And I think anybody who wears them is a fucking asshole. But then, you know, the Pope wears denim, you know? Like it doesn't mean that...
Does he?
I think he does. Probably.
That'd be funny. See him in some blue jeans.
He probably does. I mean, who doesn't wear jeans?
I guess for me, the biggest part is I feel like, I think it's if he was uncomfortable and he, like, private conversation with her, you know what I mean? Learned or whatever, or they had a discussion. I feel like that's okay. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I feel like it's okay to not understand or like have uncomfortable or stuff you don't know about.
Yeah.
But I thought it was weird that he like made it public and kind of dragged her on public, because it's kind of like, what reaction were you expecting? Like, were you expecting
people to agree with you?
People to agree with you and drag her as well and use that to like influence her?
Yeah.
Because that seems really fucked up.
That's manipulative as fuck.
Yeah, it's manipulative as fuck. You know. That's why I agree when people are like. Again, yeah, it's one thing to have like a private conversation about that, you know, say like, and then maybe she explains or whatever. Yeah. Yada, yada, yada. But yeah, to be like on Twitter and be like, I don't know about that.
But that's what I was saying. Like, if it was an issue for him, I would, if like, again, like in my own scenario, like if my boyfriend had an issue with it, I would want him to at least tell me, and then we could maybe find a compromise or something. Like,
communication, right?
Yeah, communication. Like, but for him, I don't know. That's why I'm also thinking, like, why is it that, like, I mean, he's not the first guy and, like, or, like, the first big celebrity to kind of, like, comment those things. And I don't think he'll be the last one. But it's, to me, I'm always like, I wonder why they do that. Like, why is it that they don't have these conversations always privately? Like, a lot of, like, celebrity couples, right? Why don't they have these discussions privately? Why is it always through the internet?
It's because I'm telling you, it's because it is a manipulative like tactic. You hope that these people will see it, and then they'll influence your partner to do whatever you want, to do your bidding, because it's almost like doxing, or like it's like forcing this mob mentality onto them. Like, you see, everybody fucking hates you now, so you better do what I said, bitch. You know? Yeah. It's like that. Like, it's
damn.
I'm just saying that's what it is. That's totally what it is. And I also think, like you said, it's communication is important, because I feel like if you have a partner and they dress a certain way and you feel uncomfortable with that, and they're like, I'm still gonna dress this way. I just think that, honestly, if everybody's an adult and everybody's fully and healthy, then and you feel as though you're really uncomfortable, you're generally uncomfortable with the way your partner's dressing, and they're like, no, like, I'm not going to change. I also think you're valid in just like splitting up. I think it's that simple. I think people are like, no, like, I gotta win or she's gotta win. I think you guys just go your own way. You know, clearly you guys aren't meant for each other. You want a conservative girl, you want a girl who's conservative and dressed conservatively, go get a conservative girl. You don't have to make somebody into something that they're not.
And then like shame them into trying to be that by being like, it's morally wrong, it's ethically wrong, you know. So people.
And I mean, at the end of it, she ended up posting like a whole post of her in like the dress. So like she was like, "Fuck you, bro."
That's cool.
Like,
that's cool.
She's still like, she didn't let that, I guess, ruin her night or whatever. I don't know how the timeline of how everything happened, but she ended up posting it, like her in the dress, and like and the caption was just like how she had a lot of fun. So at the end of it, like, she was chilling. It was like he was tripping, and then I guess he got the opposite reaction, right, of what he wanted.
Yeah.
I didn't really like read the comments
So
that
he
much,
failed.
but
You
he
see?
failed. Yeah,
I mean,
That's how you gotta communicate. Don't be an asshole.
yeah, bro.
But moving,
A lot of relationship is just communicating and like trying to find compromises for each other. And if there isn't one, then yeah, at the end of it, it's just like going your separate ways. If you guys can't work on it.
that's how you gotta work on detachment, right? Have you guys ever heard of detachment?
No.
No, you've never heard it.
Like, what do you mean?
Like, in what context?
It like the belief, like I think it's a philosophical belief, detachment. You've never heard of it? It's like it's basically the concept of like detachment is that you realize that whether it's romantic relationships, friendships, or familial relationships, nobody ever really has like a possession or a right to each other. So you kind of just enjoy being in the moment because nobody really ever is gonna like last with you. Eventually all relationships end, whether it's like due to death or due to like personal issues, like we were saying. So I don't want to misspeak. I don't know if it's the Buddhist. It's like some religion. They practice detachment. It's like detachment of the material. It's like detachment of like you don't care about like money. You don't care about relationships. And you kind of just live in the moment. It's something that people say that is because there's this saying that attachment is the root of all suffering. That when you attach yourself to all things, that's where the suffering really comes from. It's because like so that's why when you have relationships and stuff like you when you break up, you go through this hard part and you get depressed and like you literally have like dark moments in your life. And people say that it's because you became attached. But to get into relationships while practicing detachment, it saves you from that suffering because you were always aware that things were going to end and that things were never going to last. But you enjoyed the moment. So you keep all the good and leave behind all the bad. Some people say, and this is what's crazy, right? This is what's crazy is because detachment sounds bad in itself. Yeah. It sounds like, what? Like, I don't care about this person? But that's the point, is that it's supposed to be a hard thing. That's why they practice it, because like once you do, you realize like, wow, like nothing can really harm me. It's like the super complex like concept. I'm not going to explain it, but I just thought I'd add it in there because whenever I think about relationships, I always think about that concept of detachment.
It sounds hard, but
no, it sounds. I mean, people practice it their whole life. People go in and go to fucking like temples and like spend 12 years trying to fucking figure that out. Yeah. So I'm surprised you haven't heard about it. I thought you would.
I mean, I've heard about it in Buddhist, but I never really heard about it specifically towards relationships, like romantic ones. But interesting.
I know, that's interesting.
I've heard people even do it on their kids, bro. That's why, like, it's
crazy.
That's interesting.
But it sounds crazy from our feeble. We're in the matrix, sheeple minds. But moving on a little bit, I want to talk about Adam 22. Have you heard about this, Julie?
No.
Brandon, you've heard about it a little bit, huh? So Adam 22 is a porn star.
But he also has a podcast now.
Yeah, I'll get into it.
He's a fellow podcaster.
He actually has a couple. He actually was in hot water recently. He's kind of a controversial guy. But it's okay. It's not like we're agreeing with him. I just wanted to bring it up because he's actually something happened in his life that is kind of just like taking the rounds of the internet. So Adam 22, he's a porn star, but his wife is also a porn star. Okay. Her name is Lena Plug, I think. That's her name,
it's
right?
Lena the Plug.
Lena the Plug? Yeah. Lena, is that her real name?
I think her name's probably Lena. I don't know that.
The Plug.
Is their middle name?
I don't know that the Plug is actually,
No, yeah. So what he famously did is that his wife had only ever been with him because obviously they're married, and recently he finally gave the go-ahead that she can like be with other men. And so she filmed for the first time ever in like years since they've been together, a porn scene with another guy. And like obviously everybody's like losing their shit and like, oh whoa, what the fuck? Like this guy's like a cuck. You know what a cuck is?
No.
Yeah.
Well, what's so funny?
That's because there was something floating in the air.
Floating and it landed on your head like perfectly.
All right.
It'll probably show up on camera.
Yeah,
and it's a ring, so it's like right on your head.
It was like as you were talking, I just noticed how the corner of my eye was just going like that, and I was like, "Is that gonna land on your head?" And it did. It's like it looks like a little halo on your head.
It does.
It's probably the spirit, bro. Somebody's looking over me right now.
Wait, so basically he gave her
so the context is all right. The context is I think they're both porn stars. I don't know if that's what he started as. I think he does a lot of rap interviews, right? And that's why
he doesn't. It's called No Jumper. It's a pretty popular podcast.
Yeah, there's a lot of controversies with that, but whatever. That's not really what we're talking about.
Different topic for a different time.
So I think in their relationship, he has always slept with other women. Like that
Oh, yeah.
together with her, like she would watch him like sleep with other women. Like that's
Okay.
I guess what they were
He was a
into.
porn star, you know.
Yeah.
But she would only ever do porn with him.
But they recently got married, and his like honeymoon gift to her was he like allowed her to have sex with another porn star, and that was like, yeah, everybody's like now like cuck to him, you know.
Yeah.
And what does that mean again? That he lets other
People sleep with his, like he
Okay.
watches other people. sleep
Yeah,
with
but
his
it's
wife.
like an insult.
It's like
You're a
if he
fucking
says
cuck.
insult.
Yeah.
I wanted your thoughts on that. What do you think? As in,
Wait, so they met when they were porn stars?
I have no idea how they met, but I
Okay.
know they both do porn.
Okay.
they both do porn. They're both active porn stars.
So when you say that he slept with other girls, he was filming, like this is for
His job,
his
yeah.
job.
I believe so.
So his job.
I believe so.
Okay.
I'm not too familiar with
Okay.
this
Yeah.
word.
Stevie's saying yeah.
Yeah.
So, okay.
No,
so,
yeah.
So it's his for a show, but he didn't allow her, or like she just didn't want to.
I think they both slept with other women. I think. I don't, but I think, well, because I seen him respond in like a tweet where he's like, I think he said something like, for years, like she's watched me sleep with other women.
But like for his porn, like
Yes,
it's part of his job. Okay,
yes.
okay,
I don't know.
okay.
Yeah, I don't know.
I'm telling you, yes.
Okay.
He doesn't know, but I do. Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. And so then, do you know as far as like
Well,
he didn't allow her to do it?
No, this is the first time she's done a porn with another guy that wasn't him.
Yeah. No. I remember it being a big thing before she ever slept with someone. That he doesn't like that she would be with other men. So yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah. So what do you think?
Interesting. Well, because it's like
But
okay,
I mean,
but you can.
He
but
changed
you,
his ways though.
But you can do it
and they got married.
only
Yeah.
once though. He said only once. No.
But like no.
Oh well, I'll get into it. I just want your initial thoughts. This is a continuous story. There's more to it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, if it's just going off of what I just asked, I'm like, bro, what? Like you slept with other people. I get it. It's your job, right? But you're not allowing her to do it because it's also her job. No, isn't she's a porn star? No, like that's get her money. You know, like she wants to get her money up, but you're not allowing her. You know.
Yeah, but she's done it with other women, just not dudes.
Oh.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
But her porn, like
Yeah.
okay.
Yes, bro. Is it really that hard?
I just want clarification.
Well, no,
I
she's
just want
asking clarification because I think it matters in the context, you know.
Yeah, because I'm like, if they're just doing it and it's not for work, then that's like a whole other thing. Like that's just like, oh, he's sleeping with other girls and like he's not allowing it. So he would allow her to do it, but with girls, not with guys.
yeah.
Okay.
I guess.
Interesting.
Right? Because this is
Interesting.
talk about like an alternative relationship style, right?
Yeah.
Because it's still technically like a monogamous heterosexual relationship.
Yeah, but it's part of their work, which like
Yeah.
okay, I get it. But he wasn't allowing her to do it with like.
I guess
Girls?
I think he said it just made him uncomfortable, but then he said he like matured and was like, I feel like it's a little hypocritical of me. And so
Okay.
he
Okay.
and so
he healed.
Okay.
And so after they got,
Okay.
after they got married, he was like, yeah, go ahead. So
Okay, so let me propose it because it's probably a mind fuck a little. So I'll propose another question. If you had a boyfriend who was a porn star, would you let your boyfriend fuck other women for work? Only work.
Only work.
Yeah.
Sure. I mean, if that's his money and like, you know, like that's his job, no?
How
Like,
very mature and respectful of you.
well, yeah.
I don't know if everybody would agree to that.
Well, yeah, but that's the thing is that you have to remember is that when you met him, he was a porn star. Like that was his job. That was his title. Like, and if you're not okay with
Yeah.
that, then like,
Don't
don't get with him.
That's
like,
so funny because it sounds like, you know how we always have reels like this? So it's like, he was a porn star. Like, what do you want her to do? Like, you can't change him.
Yeah.
Brandon, what'd you do if you were Adam 22?
if I was Adam 22, I feel like me personally, I just probably wouldn't ever be in that situation because I feel like I don't
you'd
think
stop.
You
doing
wouldn't date a porn star?
No,
You'd
I
stop
feel
doing
like
porn?
I wouldn't date a porn star just because I feel like I don't have anything against him or anything like that. I feel like it's cool. I just feel like I'm not mature enough to be like
Okay,
with
with
it?
their-
to separate.
Art from the art.
Yeah. I just don't think I could do it. So
Aw.
I wouldn't get it. But I mean, but like
no, and I get that. Like,
Yeah,
I'm only saying that because I feel like that's the right thing.
No,
Would I
yeah,
actually
yeah.
do it? I don't know. I don't know if I can handle that. I'm like,
No,
yeah,
I don't think there's anything bad with saying you wouldn't date a porn star.
I don't think. But I feel like if there are people who like are okay with that, I don't
Yeah.
think that's bad either.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
I don't
Yeah.
think like
Yeah.
I don't think like oh you're tripping, bro, like at all. Like from my perspective on Adam 22 is I don't really like who cares. Like I feel like
I just more obviously the person is where it's like I don't really care, but I mean the scenario is
No,
more.
no.
where
I mean,
find
I
it-
mean the concept. Still, I feel
Yeah.
like I don't. I feel like if you're not hurting anybody and it's what you're into, I really,
Yeah.
It's not my business,
Yeah.
honestly.
But that's why I was
you know?
asking all the questions because I'm like, I want clarification. Like, is this more like, is he just doing it and they didn't like agree to it? But if this is like their job, like
No, they agreed to it. It was her honeymoon gift. She it was like her,
no, yeah, but it's just like that's what I'm saying. Like, if it, like, is this more of a job thing? Was he just randomly sleeping with girls?
No, it was
like
a job thing.
he was cheating on her or something.
was
like
a
that?
job
But
thing.
yeah, that's why. I was like, I wanted to
Yeah.
ask the specific questions because I was
And
like,
they actually, since they're fellow podcasters, they actually have a podcast together called Plug Talk. Have you heard about it,
I
Brandon?
haven't.
You obviously have never heard about it, but it's called
Plug
Plug Talk. Yeah. So what it is, it's I find it hilarious. I find it kind of funny. Julie, you don't want to look it up. Trust.
okay,
Um,
I wasn't.
what what it is that they interview. It's like a regular podcast. They bring on fellow co like stars in the realm, like porn stars.
Coworkers.
Coworkers. They interview them, and then the like last half of like the porn of the podcast is they just do porn. They just fuck on live on cam. So
They don't talk
Damn.
though.
no, it's just like it just goes straight into porn. So it's like it's like a like an innovative like new porn where.
But they don't like talk and then like.
So they do a
that's enough
show.
talking.
Yeah.
No, they do. They
do a
So they
show,
do
and
they
then-
do a podcast, and literally, right when the podcast, like in the midst of it, that's when they like start getting into it. So sometimes they like get so into it that they're like mid combo, and they're like, "Fuck it, like let's just get into it."
And then do they go back to talking after?
no, it ends. It ends like a regular porn. Yeah,
Aw.
I just think it's kind of funny that
I feel like
there's
they should talk after.
How was that?
send your ideas to Adam 22.
Be like,
Yeah.
how was that?
I know, right?
Yeah. How was that?
Debrief.
Thoughts?
Debrief.
I know, right? Oh,
What can I do better?
Rate my
Have-
performance.
have you guys ever heard of Aftercare?
No.
That's like the sex thing, right?
Yeah, you've never heard of that? Aftercare is basically like after you've done the dirties with your partner, that there's like a form of aftercare, which is like it could be anything. It could be like
Oh,
cuddling.
you're saying that? Oh,
like-
I thought it was like a show or something.
Yeah.
I thought that's what you were asking.
Well, because
I know what you mean. Yeah, now I
Yeah,
know
I
what you
know.
mean.
because I saw it going viral like on TikTok, and people were saying that they've never really had like aftercare.
Yeah, like aftercare is like cuddling, whatever.
Yeah.
Like the girl should go pee. Like,
Yeah. People were saying that they've never had it, bro. It's crazy. Some people have never had it, but
Really?
if you've never had it, go ahead and
That's a shame. You
break up
deserve-
with
you
him or
deserve
whatever.
better.
Break up with
Yeah.
him.
But I mean,
Drink water. The
I-
aftercare.
I guess going back to like the M22 thing, I feel like I don't know. People are so. I don't know. I just genuinely feel like if that's what you're down with, then that's what you're down with. I feel like I have
Yeah.
zero problem whatsoever. You know, like I feel like that's cool. It must be. I'm sure it's cool to be that like.
I just hope they're
Free.
happy.
Yeah,
In the end, I just hope they're happy.
That's
you know?
true. Yeah,
it's probably
'Cause
cool
it-
to be free like that. You know,
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
do whatever I want.
Yeah. Well, because in the end, I just kept thinking like, as long as like they're happy in their relationship
They're
and
not
like
hurting
that's what
nobody,
that's what they agreed to. Like again, it's all communication. It's
Yeah.
all just like, what are you okay with? What are you not okay with? And it's in the end, like if they like that and they're happy, then like that's fine, you know. And it's because I guess they're big. I don't know how famous they are, but like they're
honestly kinda
guessing. I'm
famous,
guessing
yeah.
that they're big. So
His-
like
Yeah.
like, it's
his
just-
podcast is pretty big.
yeah, and they're I guess in quote unquote a celebrity couple, and like everyone's gonna have an opinion to like their relationship
Yeah.
because it's
like the
it's
Keke
not,
Palmer thing.
Yeah, it's not
Yeah.
this. It's not the standard thing. It's not like
Yeah.
oh like you shouldn't be doing that and
Yeah.
like why are you allowing that? And it's just like to each their own. You know, if you again if that's what you guys like, that's what you guys like. Like there's nothing wrong with it. You
Does
know.
it stretch to the Keke Palmer thing that we shouldn't judge that? Because I mean, they're still together, right?
But I feel like that's different though, because I feel like in this case he's trying to like
he
he's
generally was
exer-
trying to shame her.
He's trying to. He is in
Publicly
ways like
trying to
he's
shame
trying
her.
to shame her.
Yeah.
He's being like possessive. He's like in ways like hurting her. Where I feel like Adam 22 is literally like if anything he's the direct opposite. He's like, do
He's
whatever you
loving
want.
her.
Yeah,
Yeah.
do whatever you want. You
Letting
know?
her be free. That's
Yeah.
true. You know what? You're
So,
right.
I
And
feel
because I don't know, I mean, this is just out of like just the surface of what we know, right? We don't generally know their relationship, but it's just
Yeah.
like at least from what we're seeing, and it's that like he also came into like his head, and he's like, what I'm doing is wrong, and I feel like you also deserve it,
no, yeah.
like to do what you want
I
to do.
feel
So like I'll allow it or whatever.
Yeah, I feel like if you want to have a conservative relationship, I think that's awesome. Go
Yeah.
ahead, you know what I mean? But that doesn't mean everybody else got to have
Mhm.
that. And if people don't have that, that doesn't mean they're wrong for not having that. Like, if you want to have that, go right ahead, bro. Like, go right ahead. Or if you want to have the direct opposite, which is open relationship or whatever it is, go right ahead.
Yeah.
But just, you know what I mean? Like, I feel like do whatever you want.
Do your own
Just-
thing.
Exactly, yeah.
Fuck yeah. Okay. I
As long as you guys are both happy and agree to it, and like you guys are both fine.
Yeah.
Who cares what everyone else
because
says?
it doesn't know. Like, how does it affect your life? Like, how does somebody having like an open relationship like affect your life? On a
I guess
personal
people think
level?
about it like in a societal way, where people are like, you know, we're all collectively contributing to this society, and if one of these, like, I don't know, spokes on the wheel breaks, maybe the whole bike will fall off. I think that's what people think. But I think that's also, that goes into like how for so many years, like a lot of religious groups were like, oh my God, this country's going to hell. Like, you see how people are starting to have rights now, you know, like, I think it kind of goes into the same way. I think, so I think it's kind of, I brought it up, I guess, because I do think there's a link between the Keke Palmer thing and the Adam 22. I think they're both expressions of relationships where people are more agreeing to the Keke Palmer thing, because you see a lot of toxic men who are machismos being like, fuck yeah, what do you mean? He's not wrong. You should tell your girl how to dress. But yet people are climbing Adam 22, who's himself personally is like, no, I want my girl to express himself and be as free as possible. Yeah. And you see how you see that like taboo, and it's funny because it's like the reverse, right?
They're opposite ends of the spectrum.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, because that's what I'm saying. Like, I think especially with like Adam 22, it's like it's not the standard, the quote unquote standard of a monogamous relationship, right? Where it's just you two, and plus they're porn stars, right? It's like a whole different like
genre.
Genre of it, and it's just like, okay, like I don't know. So, I mean, if they seem happy, I feel like they're happy and rich.
Maybe one day we'll all have. Maybe one day we'll all have relationships.
If you're happy and you're not hurting anybody, it's none of my business.
Yeah.
You know, like really.
This relates to one of my next topic that I wanted to ask you guys. Do you guys think that toxic behavior is subconscious or conscious? Really quick, shout out to the besties. They actually made me think of this because I saw one of their clips from their new episode. This isn't exactly what they said, but this is the question I want to propose to you.
We're stealing their content.
Yeah, we're stealing their content. Yeah, no, this isn't even what they.
We're just kidding. We fuck with them.
Yeah, they're cool. This isn't what they exactly talked about, but this is what it made me think about hearing it. Do you guys think toxic behavior is subconscious or conscious?
I think it can be both, but I'm more inclined to think in general it leans more to unconscious.
Really?
Toxic behavior.
Yeah.
What do you think?
Yeah, because I mean, I guess a lot of it maybe is like you're a product of your environment, and if your environment was very toxic, and I think that's what you're kind of like used to seeing, I think you'll have the same habits, and you'll be like, well, this is what I saw when I was growing up, and I thought it was normal, until you start like meeting someone who I guess isn't that way, and like in a way you're kind of hurting them. I don't know when or if they're, or I could say up to a point where you realize it. Maybe until somebody tells you, like, hey, you're being a little toxic or something like that. But I don't know when you become, I guess, conscious of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, cool. Because I guess I think about when people talk about, like, childhood trauma and shit, they're like, oh, I was doing this, and, like, I learned through therapy or whatever that, oh, you know, so-and-so, my dad said he didn't love me or some shit like that, you know? Whatever it is, you know? And then they kind of act out like that in, like, a relationship or whatever it is, or to their kids or something like that. That's more what I think about. But, like, I don't know if that's specifically what you're holding.
No, yeah. I think you guys are answering it pretty quick. Yeah, because I agree, too. I think most toxic behavior, I think, is subconscious. And I think that's where it becomes kind of dangerous and eye-opening. Because then I begin to wonder, whether it's you, me, or my sister, what behavior do we express that is actually, like, subconsciously toxic? And it's because of, like you said, like, oh, it's because when I was a kid, like, I would always trip over this like one hill and fucking like I don't know,
you know,
like,
shit like that.
Yeah. Like deep shit, you know, like super.
My brother
deep.
used to drown me or some shit.
Yeah,
you know?
so now like anytime I see someone drinking water, I get fucking pissed off at that.
You know, shit like that.
Well, because a lot of like our traumas come from us being like little kids and things that we experienced as little kids. No.
Yeah, that's what Dr. Gaber, I think his name Gaber Mate. I think that's what he said. He said that most traumas stem from childhood. Even if you experience something traumatic as an adult, it'll always go back to when you were a kid. And I think that's pretty mind-blowing, because it means that, I don't know, it means that these developmental years really mean a lot. So if you see any kids in your life, be sure you're extra nice to them. Yeah, because like shit like that will stick for them for life. I mean, I could tell you firsthand, obviously me too, you know?
Yeah.
There's shit that I remember where I'm like, that's weird. Why do I remember that? You know?
Yeah.
But it's probably some shit that I'll figure out when I'm like 50, and I'm like, oh my God, it makes so much sense now.
So then if they're toxic and they're not conscious about it, should it make it's not okay, right?
I mean, I feel
Or
like just because you're unconscious about it doesn't make you any less responsible. You're still responsible for hurting people. You know what I mean? Like if you hurt people, like if you beat somebody, like but like they beat me when I was a kid. It's like, well, I mean, I'm sorry that happened, but like that doesn't give you the right to do that. You know?
Yeah.
It's like, you know.
I think the journey is hard.
Yeah.
You know, I think the journey is really hard
To like unlearn all that.
Yeah, I think it's not easy. I think if it was easy, then it probably wouldn't have do much for you.
Yeah, if it was easy, I mean, bro, I feel like look at the world. Everybody's a little messed up, you know.
Yeah.
So I feel like in general, yeah, it's probably pretty hard.
I forgot who asked me. I think it was you. I feel like I was at the beach, but somebody asked me like, do you think everybody has trauma? And I honestly do think everybody has trauma, just because I think life itself is such a traumatic experience. I think that's like objectively true and logically true.
Yeah.
Because I mean, if you look at it around, I mean, fuck, to be born, stressful, babies crying blood everywhere, like even that in itself, yeah, maybe you don't remember it, but I'm sure even that, like for the mother, for the doctors, you know, it's normalized, which is why you don't really see it that way. But
you don't think
that
there's, you know, just hypothetical, you don't think there's ever been one guy who's just had an awesome life?
I would hope so. My optimism hope so. Yeah, I would wish to be that guy.
It's a small percentage, maybe.
I don't know. I'm not disagreeing at all. I don't. But I'm not agreeing either. I just don't know. I wonder if that comes from like movies, because you know how in movies a character isn't interesting unless they suffer. Do you think that comes from movie? But I also think a majority of the world and a majority of history has been like elites, upper class, select few versus like the masses. So I don't know.
But I also think that like trauma and stuff varies in degrees of severity. Like I think that some people can be born and they experience some trauma, but they didn't experience severe trauma like every fucking day. Like maybe some people like on some other parts of the world. And that's what I mean. But I think everybody has some trauma.
Like maybe some kid like fell off a cliff, so now he's afraid of heights. Versus like, my dad used to like stab me. Yeah.
My dad used to stab me for fun, and then like fucking lock away my toys and fucking plunge them into the bottom of the ocean. You know. I think like some people definitely have more severe trauma than others, but I do think everybody gets like at least hit with something. Yeah. I think bottom line, just like the severity is different, but. Moving on a little bit, since we're getting a little existential, I want to talk about this poem.
Oh, you know what? Now that I saw that, I know what you're talking about.
I thought you didn't. You told me before the show you didn't. I was so excited to hear it. My sister hasn't heard it though.
Yeah, I haven't heard it.
There's this poem going viral right now on TikTok. It's about a spider. I'm not gonna read you the whole poem because it's kind of long, but I'll read you the section that everybody's kind of raving over. Okay, so it's a poem that a spider wrote. That's like the concept of it, and it says this. And I'm sorry for scaring you, but I didn't know being seen would cost me my life.
You know what I have to say? I called it. Remember I did that segment on ants? And everybody, you all laughed at me. You all said you're tripping, who gives a fuck? And now all of a sudden the TikTokers
Hey, I cared. I thought you were spitting. Izzy was the one who was like.
And now all of a sudden the TikTokers get to it. And like, but just so you know, folks, it started here on this podcast.
Brandon was ahead of, if you go back like a handful of podcasts ago, he was literally talking about how we should be nicer to insects. But I brought it up because one, it's going viral right now, and two, coincidentally, the night that I saw this poem was the same night that my sister messaged me at like 1 a.m.
to kill a spider.
to come to her room to kill a spider.
Yeah, bro. It was like it was a huge like spider that I saw by my bed, and it generally freaked me out. This was the first I sometimes see spiders and I'm like chill or whatever about them, but this time I saw this spider and it generally was messing with me.
It's pretty big.
Like it was pretty big.
Did you kill it?
No, I did not, bro. How could I after I read that poem?
Yeah,
Come on.
Well, for one, like I stayed up until like I don't know, like 1 or 2 in the morning because I was like, "Fuck!" Like I'm scared, bro. But it stopped. It stopped moving. It ended up hiding like behind my curtain, and I was like, "Okay, like it's fine." I ended up moving my bed a little bit though.
Oh, come on.
Because I'm really traumatized from spiders. Like that's just like me and my trauma of like spiders just really traumatized me a lot. Like I think they're fine. It's just like I internally like this time I was really triggered. Like this time I was genuinely like really scared for some reason. I don't know why. It usually scares me, but it's not bad. But this time it was like worse for some reason, and that's why I texted Stevie. I was like, "Hey, are you awake?"
I knew it was bad because I was like, no, bro. Obviously, I'm not awake. Like,
Well, you did wake up, and then you went back to sleep. But,
I did.
I generally was just
She's
like,
crying.
I generally was like, "Fuck!" Like, I really got freaked out, like when I saw it. And so then, I still told him like the next day. I was like, "It's still in my room. Like, can you like kill it or something?" And he said, "I can't kill it because like the poem. Have you read the spider poem?" And I was like, "No,
I literally
like,
told
can
her
you
to
just
the
get
poem.
it?" I was like, "Don't kill it then."
I always do the cup and card method. Just cup it and throw it out.
And
Yeah,
that's what I did.
That's what he did. Yeah.
Yeah.
And it had a baby.
Or if
Bro,
it's
it had a baby.
It had a baby in there.
You say you spared a child.
I know.
You didn't.
I
spawn
generally
kill.
okay. The reason why I couldn't do it was because usually like, this one was like I could see that it was chubby. Like I could see that it was like chubby.
Also would have squished.
So yeah, and I was like, oh my god, that shit made me like so grossed out that I was like, I can't do it. Like I can't kill it. Like I just can't do it.
You see, bro, she valued its life more because it was bigger.
Yeah.
I wonder who said this before.
This is deja vu.
Well, because I see
occurred.
because I've shown you, you've gotten a spider from me before. It was in my
have?
restroom,
And did I?
and you did that, and it was the one with the longer, thinner like.
Oh,
legs.
those are good ones.
Yeah,
Those are good
you said that. You said
Yeah.
that those were good ones. I was like, all right, but like, get it out. Like,
I don't know if it's true. I never fact checked it, but I remember when I was a kid. I think one of my cousins or someone older was like, "Those are good ones. They keep other bugs away. Like, don't fuck with those ones." And so I never forgot that. They could have been lying, and I don't know, but. So those ones I just leave alone.
Those are the ones that I see a lot more with like the skinnier legs, but this one had like thick ass legs with like a bigger body.
Oh, it's thick.
Yeah, it was thick. So I was just like, I can't do it, bro. I couldn't kill it. I legit was on the phone with Chris when it happened. And he was like, bro, just squish it. I was like, I can't kill it, bro. I feel like it has a baby. Like I can't do it.
It's a baby.
Bro, I remember you told me that if I didn't do it, you were gonna ask Chris to come kill it. And I'm like, bro, that guy lives like an hour away. You're gonna make him drive over here to kill a spider? I
You
was like,
should
no.
have just to see if you would have.
I know,
That
right?
would have been a test.
That would have been a test.
Like,
The boyfriend test?
No, then when he got here, we're like, there's no spider, but you passed.
It's gone.
There's no spider, but you passed.
No, because okay, so the reason I generally am always scared to kill spiders because in Mexico there was one time where there was a huge spider
And it bit you.
and no, it was my cousin squished it and then a million tiny babies just came out of it and then we all like started running. Like I remember, and that shit was so traumatic. I remember because like once she squished it, it just like exploded and then it was just like millions of like tiny spiders and that shit was just like. And it was in the dark. We were like, it was really scary for me. And I was like,
Julie,
and I
no-
always think about that. That's why I'm like, I can't squish them because I'm always scared. Like
Julie,
I can't kill them.
No matter the size or the shape of the animal, their life is not diminished by what they are. Their life is as important as any other animal on this planet.
I don't know. I grew up being taught that insects
Deja vu.
didn't matter.
I'm gonna make a reel out of it and then be like, wow, he's so, I never thought of this before.
He's so woke.
So what do you think, bro? What do you think about the spider poem?
I think it's cute, and I kept thinking like, man, like you should have made a reel when I fucking said it, because I was like, I said it first.
You did. He did make a reel
No, I
about the
didn't.
insects.
No, I didn't.
I thought you did.
No,
Did you?
I didn't.
I thought you
I
did.
didn't. I
Damn.
make them, bro. How could I forget something like that?
You know what's weird? I remember meeting somebody who had told me about it, and I was like, did you make a reel out of it? Because I remember I was at like a restaurant one, and one of the waiters there was like, oh, I saw your podcast, like the ant thing was funny. So I was like, did you?
Well,
I
there
didn't
was
make it,
there was
but-
the ant one that we had previously done a while ago because we were talking about like, oh, it's summer and there's ants and I'm like, if you're in my room, like I'm gonna fucking kill you, like kind of thing.
That's probably what it is. Mandela effect.
And then I genuinely thought you made another one because I remember seeing it on TikTok on Instagram.
Make a reel where we talk about it now, and then have a flashback scene.
A flashback
Yeah,
scene.
where you're saying that the importance of an ant is as
But I
important.
guess at the end of it, a lot of what we've been talking about is a lot of unlearning I don't know. I mean, I've been taught like if I see a fucking insect, like if I see a fucking cockroach, I'ma kill that shit.
Yeah.
Okay, roaches different. Roaches different. Those guys can survive a nuclear blast. Then you might as well step on them. You know?
You haven't seen Wall-E? Every time I see a roach, I think of Wall-E because you know how he has like a roach sight.
Yeah.
So I feel like they got humanized.
But it's just like I'm more used to like that, right? I'm used to growing up that if I see a fly, I'ma kill that shit. If I see it,
I mean, I don't think you're
shit.
a bad person if you
Like,
do that. I mean, do what you got to do. You know, I feel like
I just think you're hypocritical if you do that.
What do you mean?
Can if you kill insects and stuff, you're hypocritical if you're like, oh, let's go vegan and like, yeah, I think you're a hypocrite.
I'm not vegan.
I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. I totally don't think that. But it's unreal, right?
No.
Well, I could see people making that argument.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I don't know. I've seen a lot of vegan people go hard, and they're like their arguments are pretty interesting, but I can't like repeat it because they're like deep, and I'm like, oh, that's interesting, you know. So some people, yeah, but I don't know. I personally just do the cup method. You know what I mean? But
I generally just can't get near them.
But I remember a long time ago seeing somebody argue that that's a fate worse than death. That like if you throw them outside, that there's something about like they have it's like I don't know. But people were saying like you're better off just killing them because they're gonna die anyways, like right out there. And I was like, I mean, yeah, but I don't know.
Yeah, but if you squish them, that's 100% chance of death. Leave them outside, what 99%? At least they got 1%.
It's 110. No,
Yeah,
I
I guess it's like if imagine you were picked up and they left you like in Africa. It's like yeah, I mean there's a bunch of animals around, you might die, but I mean fuck, it's better than if they had just squished you.
Yeah, that's true.
You know,
I guess right, but I guess it's like it's up to the person in terms of like, would you rather be instant death or ripped apart by lions?
Oh, that's true.
I guess that's what their thinking was.
Yeah,
you know. But I don't know. I'm not an insectologist.
No, he's right. Yeah,
It was. I mean, I haven't really killed a spider for a cool bit because I always find some in my restroom. And I'm always like, all right, if you just stay in here, just don't go into my room. I'm like, you can stay in the restroom, just don't go into my room.
I feel,
and I'm always like, I'll let you live. I'll let you live if you stay in the restroom, just don't go into my room. I remember the next day, I woke up with a spider bite on my leg, on my thigh. I was like, bruh, I let you live though. There was two of them. There was two of them, and I was like, bro, I let you guys live if you guys don't get into my room. And then I ended up waking up with a fucking spider bite, and I was like, bruh.
What if it was a mosquito? I don't fuck with mosquitoes.
Oh yeah.
Well, what's that?
Well, because it was like two little bites like that, close
like
together.
Spider-Man?
Yeah.
What's that phrase about how do good things and not expect anything back? You see, you did a good thing. They still bit you, but you did it. It shouldn't change the way you think about it.
I feel like the only time I genuinely am all like, come on, man, is like when people go out of their way to like fuck with insects, because it feels like a little sadistic. Like, you know, like if there's like a snail just chilling like on the side of the road, and somebody just like
steps
on it for fun. Like, come on, man, he was just doing his thing. He wasn't bothering you.
Because people like the power, bro. People like having power.
Or like the anthill thing. I never did that. But I don't know if people actually do that or if it's just a movie thing with the magnifying glass. You burn ants. Like, come on, man.
I've never tried that.
They're just chilling.
I used to fuck with ants, but never like that severe. I used to fuck around with insects a lot when I was younger.
Used to play God?
I used to play God a lot when I would do the thing. My nephew did it, which is where I was like, damn, the apple don't fall too far from the tree, right? Even though he's not my son, but he's my nephew. He did this thing where you told me you've never done it, but you would get like a water bottle, you put dirt and grass in there and like leaves, and then you put bugs in there, and then you'd have like your own ecosystem. I used to do that with like bees and like ladybugs and stuff.
I used to do that with ladybugs.
I used to dig up the roly polies and they'd turn them and I'd just roll them, but I never put them in like a thing because I
wonder what happens when you get older that disconnect and you, like insects become grosser.
I don't know.
Right?
Just when you're a kid, you don't have like I guess it's probably learned, right?
In a sense, too.
Yeah.
I think you just probably learn it. Because have you seen that video of that little girl? And there's like, you've seen those things where people walk on like stilts and they're like monsters.
Oh, yeah. It's like a monster, right?
Yeah. And there's like this little girl and she's like hugging it. She thinks like it's the cutest thing ever.
Oh, yeah.
And she's like, I love your dog, you know? Because she don't know. She don't know. So I think fear's learned probably.
Yeah. Hate is learned too, bro.
Yeah. So it's probably that.
On the subject of, are you going to say something?
I was just saying, especially like with the spider thing, I feel like they've always been shown as like evil-ish, you know, like in Halloween, they're like scary and like
in Hollywood
like,
movies,
and all that. Yeah.
Spider-Man. I think it's Spider-Man.
I feel like Spider-Man was the first thing that like also traumatized me too.
What?
Yeah. Because I remember when he gets bit and then he goes through like that whole like loopy thing. That shit kind of scared me.
Oh, you know how when he transforms and he's like, you know.
Yeah.
Oh, he's
like,
he's
and
having
it
like a
was
seizure?
and it was what Sam Raimi, and he gives very like a spooky vibes.
And he's all drunk.
Yeah.
He's like,
So
oh.
so I feel like that was one of them too.
You know, funny enough, a fun fact, Stan Lee, when he first came out with the concept of Spider-Man, people told him that it was going to flop because everybody hates spiders.
Damn.
That's actually a real thing. So Stan Lee alone and Spider-Man have done a lot for spider rights. So
There you go.
fun
Spider
fact.
Spider
Like the perception of people's like mind towards spiders. But speaking of animals, since it was the 4th of July, happy 4th of July. I don't know if you guys celebrate that, but I don't know. Do you guys celebrate it? I don't know if you guys do.
Not really.
You wouldn't work.
I just watched the fireworks.
I was gonna ask. Now that you say that, should we ban fireworks? What do you guys? What's your guys' perspective?
What's the argument for? Fireworks?
Fireworks scare off animals, cause pollution with its explosions that decreases the air quality. Scares off. So when animals are barely born, a lot of animals end up abandoning their newborn babies because of the loudness. What?
Oh, it scares them off.
Yeah, the loudness of the fireworks. I think on 4th of July reportedly has like the biggest of like animals running away, like dogs.
Yeah.
Dogs run away all the time, like, and then that's when most people have like they lose their pets. People and then humans have PTSD, and then they get PTSD from it.
I mean, that's a good point. Didn't they ban? Aren't they illegal in California? I remember I saw a TikTok.
They're actually, they're very illegal.
They're illegal here because I remember I saw
They're all over the place.
No, I saw a TikTok that was like, in 2020, Los Angeles officially made fucking fireworks illegal, and this is how Los Angeles responded, and they showed like so many fireworks like from space. So to me, I'm like, I mean, what can we do? I feel like they already kind of did. You know?
I know, that's what I thought about. I think slowly the drone shows are gonna like take over, but I do think eventually I think if you like fireworks, enjoy them now because I don't think they're gonna last. I think they genuinely actually cause a really big like detriment to the environment.
Well,
I mean like huge.
No, yeah, I mean this year, at least for 4th of July, I remember I just kept looking and it was so foggy, and I knew that it was from the fucking fireworks, and they were everywhere this year.
Yeah.
Like, and actually, cause I got home really late for 4th of July, cause I worked, and then I had to be there for like the fireworks show and everything, and so when I came home, Pocha like legit like got out.
Oh, she was scared.
She was about to leave, and I was like, bro, like don't leave. Like I was like, cause she usually will like stay behind the gate, but this time she actually started like walking out, and I was like, bro, like she better not start running, cause I was like, bro, it's the middle of like the night, and I'm about to wake everyone up and be like, bro, like Portia just left, like she fucking ran away, like, and I was like, fuck.
Was Rocky scared?
But Rocky was there, but he was like chilling. He was a little more chill. I mean, I think they were both scared, but I think like Rocky was the chillest, and I think she was kind of freaking out.
Yeah. I mean, I'm sure it's weird for a dog.
Yeah.
You know, they're probably like, what the fuck? You know?
I think
because they kept barking. Because every time they would hit like the really like exploding ones,
the really exploding
like
the ones that sound like bombs. You know?
Yeah, the ones that sound like bombs. Yeah, those like they would start barking at them. But they by the time I got to like the house or whatever, they got into their little house. And they just stayed in there. And I was like, bro, just stay in there.
I mean, yeah. I mean, that's shitty. I mean, China invented fireworks. Did you know that? That's why in Mulan they have them at the end.
That's why he can never.
That's why I can't disrespect. I don't know. I mean, I don't.
You're the
inventor. I don't really do. I personally don't really do them. I don't do fireworks. I mean, but I have in the past. I mean, I get the appeal. It's a little fun. But I remember when it was happening. What was today? The 6th.
Yeah. Today's the 6th.
Like 2 days ago, I remember I was outside. I don't know what I was doing. I was just outside. I can't even see the fireworks, so I wasn't because of that. I think it was the moon. The supermoon, and it was like, I was like, how do people like, for like 6 hours nonstop, I've just heard fireworks. Where's everybody getting all this money? Because like, oh my God, like you guys don't run out.
They're illegal too.
Yeah.
Goes to show you, even if you make something illegal, bro, people find a way.
That's why I was like, oh, low key, I had seen, that's why I was always confused. I'm like, are they legal or are they illegal? Because
they're
like,
illegal.
They're illegal
Because
as
I would
fuck.
see, because I would see shops in the middle of like other shops,
You don't
and
care.
it says like fireworks here or
Well,
like
because
all that
it's
stuff.
like I guess it's one of those things where it's like it's illegal, but because everybody's doing it, I mean, like who, like, you know,
Yeah.
if it's like one or two guys in the neighborhood and
Yeah.
like someone's like, hey, it's that house, they can do it, but it's the entire neighborhood. What are they gonna do? You know, they can't really do anything. You know?
Yeah, our older brother made a joke where he's like, imagine being a cop and someone's like, hey, they're shooting fireworks in my street. It's like, well, dog, like, that's fucking everywhere. What do you want me to do?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's I can't arrest everybody.
And there's a lot of trash because I always see people's
That's worse
stories.
too, yeah.
I always see a lot of people's stories where they're doing their own fireworks show,
Yeah.
and you just see the whole street just like full of like the whole explosives.
I
and all
personally think fireworks are never gonna go away. At least not in our lifetime. I think drone things are gonna become popular, but because like fireworks anybody can do, and because it's like, you know, people love explosives. You know, I always think of that video of the one where it's like, I don't know where they're at. They're in like the middle of the road, and some guy walks up, and it's literally like an explosion. And he like flies back. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah. Where
Um,
it explodes like in his hand or some shit. No, and he goes flying.
Yeah, people show like the Krusty Krab one where it's Squidward and Mr. Krabs. I think that's funny, but yeah, I mean, I those reasonings sound very convincing to me.
Yeah. Well, I guess moving on to my last question for this week, kind of in line with thinking about the environment, thinking about animals, and thinking about just the state of the world. Do you guys think this is kind of a deep question? So, do you guys think it's selfish to want to have kids, and should more people put more thought into having kids? And the reason why I'm asking if it's selfish is because somebody recently made an argument to me that the world is logically, by all accounts, going to become unsustainable right now as it looks within like the next few decades. Do you think as it stands right now, it would be selfish to bring a child into this world?
I think that based on the reading I've done and the research I've done, the videos I've watched, that no, it's not. And the reason I say that is because I think it's a continuation of the propaganda that the everyday people are single-handedly responsible for the state of the world. When in reality, it's a handful of companies who are measurably, like, I think it's like 95% of the reason why the world is so fucked up. So to me, it's like, I get what they're saying, right? Where it's like, maybe that may be the case, but like, you know, you're bringing them into a world where it's like maybe they're not even suggesting that like, oh, you're adding to the problem. It's just you're welcoming them into an apocalypse, right? Mm-hmm. Maybe that aspect. But to me, I feel like I just see the propaganda in that, where it's like I feel like it just sounds like the same. Where it's like
it's just these big corporations don't want to take responsibility for
what they're doing. So like, bro, like you're really having kids? When it's like, doesn't Elon Musk have like 17 kids?
It's true.
He genuinely does. Like I think he has a lot of kids, and I didn't even know. I thought he just had like what's the name?
That one.
The alien
Archangel.
One?
Archangel.
That one.
That's how you pronounce it. Archangel.
Yeah. But yeah, that's to me. But yeah, I don't know. I think you know. Yeah. But yeah, whatever.
What do you think, Julie?
I feel like no, because no. Because I'm like, if they generally want to have kids, like that's their own thing.
But is it selfish because supposedly, yeah, you'd
The
be
world
booking them
is, like,
into an
ending.
apocalypse? Yeah.
I guess so, but I feel like it's okay if they want to be selfish. Like if that's their happiness, like it's not. Again, like if it is the big corporations, like, and they're responsible for a lot of it, like why is it that we have to get punished and like not have kids? You know, like I feel.
Well,
like
I think it's the sentiment that you're actually not the one getting punished. You're punishing your kid.
the kid.
Yeah.
Well, to me, I guess the way I see it is, it's like it's shifting the blame to parents, where it's like, how could you do this? Like, how could you welcome into the world of pollution and shit? And then behind them is like the giant factory. Like, oh my God. It's like, oh, why don't you stop polluting? And maybe there you go. That's the easy problem, you know? That's to me what it sounds like, but I don't know.
I think you're good. That's a perspective I did not think about. So I think I enjoy that perspective because I think that side is true too. I don't agree that it's selfish. I think that I'm an optimist. So I think that the state of the world is actually not going to end within the next few decades.
There's a good movie about this, actually. And it doesn't take the route you think. I posted about it. It's called First Reformed. It's about, it's Ethan Hawke. He's a priest. And he's counseling like a guy who's depressed. And he's an environmental extremist. And he's really depressed about how like, he's expecting a child, and because he's an environmental extremist, he's like, how can I live with myself? I brought in like a child. Like, is God gonna forgive us? And stuff like that. It's a really deep movie. The guy who wrote Taxi Driver directed it and wrote it. You should really watch it. It's a good movie. But it tackles that theme. But it's an interesting movie. I think you should really watch it. But
yeah, well, because I think life in itself, and I think a human's ability to be able to, procreate. That's how you say it, right? Procreate.
Yeah.
People's ability to procreate, I think, is a beautiful aspect of life. I think it's actually one of the biggest things that gives life meaning, because it's a form of living forever. And I think that, yeah, maybe humans are bad, and yeah, maybe we've caused a lot of destruction, and yeah, maybe some of it is propaganda too. It's mainly these big corporations that do it. But I think to kind of not want to bring a child into this world because you think it's selfish, it does rub me the wrong way, just because it's I feel like there's it's almost like giving up in my way.
I feel like, yeah, and to your point, I want to add, I feel like it's okay to have that fear. I think that's a valid fear.
Yeah.
I think, and if you decide to not have kids because of that personally, I feel like that's okay.
Yeah.
But to go around and point fingers and be like, you're a selfish asshole for having a kid or bringing a kid in this world, I feel like that's not really your place. And I feel like, I don't mean you, I mean the proverbial.
No, I know.
I mean, I feel like you shouldn't say that. And, but yeah, I feel like if that's your personal, go ahead. But, and you want to adopt instead or do whatever you want to do.
Yeah.
Because the person who brought it up also brought up the point that they feel as though a lot of people don't think about it that deeply, but they should, because it's such a big thing, especially the more we get into talks about environmentalism and that. So I guess I wanted to bring it up because I didn't even really think about it that way either.
Well, because I honestly have always thought about it, but I've thought about it more in me as a brown woman, and having my kids also be brown, and in a society where it's just we're so mistreated a lot still, and I've thought a bit of that, and especially if queer kids, where if I have queer kids in this state where it's just they're not accepted, or they don't or as a woman, we don't have, I guess, quote unquote rights, right, of things that are just very unfair that I've been living through. And I've always thought of I don't want to put my kids in the same thing. I don't want them to go through the same struggles that I went through, of always being misjudged because of the color of my skin, or being misjudged because of who they and they, and all that stuff. And I've thought about it in that way. I've thought of the environmental part separately, where it hasn't been I guess a huge thought. I feel my thought has always been our rights as a person of color. That's how I've thought about it, of bringing kids to this world. And I think that's why I always strongly I am a brown woman and I'm always gonna have those things, but I always think about the whole part of my kids being queer. And that's why I always try to learn a lot of that part of that side of it, because I'm I want to know as much as I can, so that when I have kids, they come into a world where they feel accepted, at least by me and by society, and I think that's my biggest worry of me having kids and they're not accepted, whether it's because of their color of their skin or because of their sexual orientation, whatever that has to be, or and I think about it that way. I mean, the environmental part, I'm okay, I get that. The world is, I guess, getting bad.
Yeah.
Well,
because I think if you, you this is about to get deeper, because you made me think of two things. One, you made me think about if you were pregnant and or your wife was pregnant, and you found out that they were gonna be born with a deformity, something that was realistically maybe just gonna have them be alive for a few years, but there was a pretty heavy doubt that they were going to live a long, healthy life. Is it selfish then to keep them alive while your wife or you are still pregnant? My second thought was that you can kind of expand the issue of environmentalism or being a person of color to just life in itself. I mean, we were talking about, life in itself is kind of just inherently suffering.
Yeah.
So in general, you could ask, having a kid, is that selfish?
Yeah.
To bring a human into this life, knowing that they're going to experience heartbreak, that they're going to experience suffering, they're going to experience pain, they're going to experience death, they're going to experience all those things. You could expand it to all that stuff. And I feel like when you expand it to that, I can't help but think that it's not selfish. I think inherently, like, I like this quote of like how you are the universe experiencing itself, right? That, and then that's like logically in my head, that's true, because we're made of the stuff that's naturally here in existence.
Yeah.
And so if the universe for some reason wanted to exist, it became life. It became, like cells and plants and humans. And I think to bring life into this world is inherently actually like one of the like most selfless things you could do, because like you're giving nothing a purpose, like you're giving what the universe wants, and I think the universe is very objective. But yeah, moving back into what I was kind of talking about, what do you think about the whole pregnancy thing that I was talking about?
Of like, if
Is it selfish if you knew that your kid was gonna die in a few years? Is it selfish for you to still like keep them alive in the womb
and
to give birth?
but they have like a deformity or something like that?
Yeah, they're gonna die within the next few years. Is it selfish to still give birth, or would you want to have an abortion?
Personally, I feel like I would have an abortion, where if it's like they have a deformity. And what I've thought about it is that like I feel if it's to a like severity where it's just like they can't move at all, but like by themselves, I feel like, how is that kind of like living, like for them? Like what life are they living? It's all always through just medical. Like they always have to go to their checkups. They always have to do this. And it's like you're just having them there, but they're not really like living through anything, like through any of experiences. And I feel like, and this is just me, because I feel like I have thought about that, where it's just like, not only are you like taking care of them, but you also have to think about like what you have to spend for them, of like medical bills and all these things. And it's already like a whole bunch of like stuff that you have to do for them. And if you're able to do that, like that's fine. Like that's up to you and as a person, and I'm not gonna blame you or shame you if you do want to take care of your kid like that. But I just feel like for me, generally, I just feel like that would be a lot to handle. And
even emotionally, right?
Yeah, because I'm just like, I just feel like that's just so much to do. And I praise people that do it. Like I props to them that if they're able to do it, but I can feel that it is a lot to handle. And like, I think that's something that I would have to talk about with myself and I guess my significant other, of like, that's a lot to do for us, like it's going to be that. And on top of like, we have our own jobs that we have to maintain. If we have other kids, that's other things that we have to maintain. Like, that's just a lot of like responsibility. And I don't shame anyone who does it, but this is just me, where I'm like, I don't think I could handle all that pressure. Like, I feel like I would be so in like, I get it. It's my child. And like, I'm holding it, and it's just like, I don't think I can do it. Like, I feel like that's not living anymore for my child. Like, I don't think if they're not able to like walk themselves, if they're not able to like feed themselves, if they're not able to do any of that, I'm thinking of like the more like severity ones, right? If it's something else, I don't know what the specific something else would be. Maybe like if they can still like walk and like go to school and like do all these things, and sure. But if it's like to a point where they can't even like interact with anyone, then I feel like no. Yeah. Like I'm not gonna bring them to a world where it's just like they're not gonna experience anything.
Well, before we move on, Brandon, I want to hear what you say. But before we move, I guess because like I agree with you, because I think what I was just saying. I think life may be inherent suffering, but it's not just suffering. And in my head, that scenario is kind of just suffering. Yeah. Like life is beautiful and life is all these things. But it shouldn't just be suffering. Yeah. Brandon, what do you think?
I agree with you guys completely. I feel like sincerely, I think you guys said it all. I agree with your guys' arguments. I would just echo it, honestly.
Yeah. And I feel like, I guess, because we're talking about kids, and like as much as it's okay to have kids, I think it's also okay not to have kids. Because I feel like people also get shamed for not wanting to have kids.
Yeah, totally.
And I feel like I've been more on that side, where it's just like, if you don't want kids, like that's fine. And I don't think you should judge people because you have kids and you're like, well, you should have kids because I feel like it'll make you happier. And it's like, no, like to each their own. Like if they don't want kids, they don't want kids. If you want kids, then that's fine. you know, and that's how I feel like I couldn't answer the question of like whether it's selfish or not, because I'm kind of like, if you want kids, have them. Like that's how, if you want them. I feel like maybe it's because I'm not thinking of like the environmental part of it. Again, how I said, like I feel like I think about other things, like other issues besides the like the environmental part. But I feel like if you want kids, have them. Like that's fine. Like if you feel like that's your thing, that's your calling, like that you want to be a mother, you want to be a father, or whatever that is, I feel like you should do it, you know? Like that's your life,
that
you know?
the argument is always the other way around anyways. So if for people who don't have kids, you often hear like that they're selfish. So I feel like it's kind of interesting that you could argue both sides are inherently selfish.
Yeah.
So that's why even more you should just choose the one that you feel like is like what really resonates. Well, also sometimes you don't even choose to be a parent.
People are gonna hate regardless. Just do
and that's why and that's why I was having a hard time saying like whether it's selfish or not. But I'm like it's fine if whether it is or if it isn't, because I'm like that's your life. Like if you're choosing to not have kids and people are saying that's selfish, I don't care. I want to be selfish. Like it's about me. Yeah. It's about me. In the end of the day, it's about me. And like if I don't want to have kids and I'm selfish, then that's cool. If I want to have kids and that's selfish, that's cool. And if it's not selfish, like like
it's kind of the theme of this entire podcast. It's like, you know, how does your life affect other people's? It doesn't. So do what you want to do with your own life. Yeah. Right? That's kind of the theme of this whole episode today. Yeah. And with that in spirit, we're gonna leave off this episode with some fun, some jokes.
A quick game of Yo Sabo.
Yo Sabo.
Yeah, shout out to Yo Sabo.
Yo Sabo.
The great people behind Yo Sabo hooked us up. They sent us a deck of cards to play on the podcast. So we'll play a quick game.
I like the cover. I just wanted to comment on the cover. I really like their logo. It's like a little brain with a sombrero and glasses and a mustache. And then it says Yo Sabo, tú sabes. And then I like the players. It says 2 to 10 players, and then ages. It says 21 to abuelitos.
Wow! All right,
I thought it was cute.
Let's get it started.
All right, let's see.
Gotta dust off the Spanish.
Yeah. So basically, background for people who don't know what this game is. It's basically meant for people to test out their Spanish, see how much of their Spanish is good. It's meant for those bilingual kids. You all have heard the term. We've talked about this on this podcast. The no sabo kids. Well, this is to see who's the most no sabo and who's not a no sabo. Yo sé kid, right?
Yo
sé kid. Yeah.
All right, test this out, Julia.
Yeah. I'm not gonna do the first one because we did a practice one on the
Okay. How does it work? So you just ask.
So basically, yeah. So basically, it's just like, well, there's different colors, and it's like
it's hard.
The green ones are like the easy ones, and then the orange ones are like, it's the same thing, but you have like penalty words. So if you say like a penalty word, again, if it was like 21 and up, you take a shot or something like that. If you say the penalty word.
Oh, okay.
And then, but the green ones are like just guessing what it is.
We'll do the penalty one for a Patreon.
Okay. All right. And then there's more. There's like different questions, like, oh, what's Selena's like last name or something like that. Like,
oh wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
So there's like different games.
Oh, there's
Quintanilla, right?
Yeah, Quintanilla. Yeah.
Wow, there you go, bro.
I dabble.
I know some.
All right, let's get started.
I'm gonna shuffle a little bit of them. Can't shuffle. I can't shuffle. I'm struggling.
How does it work? Is it like you ask me first and then Steve, or you ask us both?
I basically ask you both, and
whoever gets it first.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's a card.
Okay. All right.
Okay.
I hope my mama is watching.
Okay, this is an easy one.
Proud.
An easy one. ¿Cómo se dice library?
Biblioteca.
Wow, he got it.
That's like the most easiest
Well,
one.
why didn't you say it?
I don't know. Just didn't. I felt like giving that one to you.
Oh, okay.
All right. Let's
I'll
see.
give you the next one then.
All right.
Okay.
¿Cómo se dice apron?
Le apron.
Le apron?
No, I don't know.
You've said it before.
I know. I feel like I'm really enough.
What's the first letter?
Yeah.
D.
I don't know. I don't know. What is it?
Delantel.
Delantal.
No, yeah, I would not
Okay,
have gotten
okay.
that.
All right. Give me another one. Give me another
How, ¿Cómo se dice cooking?
one. Cocinando?
Yeah.
Okay.
Wow,
Yeah.
Stevie. Brandon's
on, bro.
feeding you.
It is what it is.
All right, I'm not saying that.
I took AP Spanish.
Oh,
Did you really? Wow.
I know how to speak Spanish. I can't speak it fast.
¿Cómo se dice soap?
Jabón?
Is it how?
Yeah.
Wow.
Damn, Stevie.
Come on, bro.
He's just too fast. I would have thought you got to give me like 4
I'll
seconds.
give you the next one. I'll give you the
Okay,
next one.
Hold up
okay.
like a 4
I'll give you
second.
the next one.
My brain works in
All right,
mysterious
all right.
ways.
All right, we were just talking about this. ¿Cómo se dice spider?
Fuck, I know this. Araña?
Yes.
Wow. Damn. Okay.
Damn, Brandon.
I know. Damn.
Damn.
Come on, there's a
Brandon.
reason I'm on this podcast.
¿Cómo se dice spinach?
Spinata.
Kind of close.
It's not spinata?
Spinato.
What is it?
Espinaca.
Spinaca. Espinaca.
Espinacas.
I was close.
Okay.
I feel like
I
I,
think
get.
it's- that's how you pronounce
I
it.
should get. I should get half points for that. One.
Yeah, okay. You get a half point. All right. ¿Cómo se dice spring?
Spring, like
Verano?
spring.
No.
Verano is summer, no?
It's
Yeah,
that summer.
yeah,
That's
yeah.
summer.
Because it's a Bad Bunny.
I feel like one of
Because
you
it's
almost
Bad
said
Bunny.
it.
Yeah,
I feel
yeah,
like one of you almost said
It's
it.
spring, like the season.
Spring, yeah, like the
Oh
season.
man, I feel like I know it because
Use it in a sentence, but say blank.
What?
Like in a Spanish
What's the
sentence.
first letter? Come on.
P.
But
Fuck.
fuck, I have no idea.
Come on, bro. Come
I
on.
have no idea.
What is it? What is
What
it?
is it?
What is
Oh,
it?
Primavera.
Primavera. I should have known that. I should've
Yeah,
known
okay,
I
that
should've
one,
known
yeah.
that.
All right. ¿Cómo se dice squirrel?
Ardilla.
Wow.
Wow.
Stevie.
I don't know what's going on. I'm getting test anxiety. I can't. Fuck it, let's go to Mexico. Drop us there. Let's see who
Drop
wins.
us off. Bruh. ¿Cómo se dice stove?
Estufa?
Wow. Honestly, that time I was like not even here. I wasn't even thinking.
¿Cómo se dice stretch?
El stretch.
Stretch.
Estiras?
You're close. You're close.
Estira?
Estira?
Yeah, estirar.
I'll let you have it. I'll let you have it.
I
I'll let
have
you
a point. I'm on the board. All
there
right,
you go.
cool.
¿Cómo se dice swimming pool?
Oh, alberca? Alberca?
No,
I think that's just pool.
Well, come on.
I
but
think.
is it with a P?
Yes.
Bus?
I didn't say bus.
What'd you say?
Because I know this is so fucking bad, but I know it's close to the French version of saying it
Oh,
too.
that's a good way.
But
I thought it was alberca. So it's not that. That's just pool.
It's like bus. I can't remember. What is it?
What is it?
Piscina.
Piscina.
I
Yeah.
thought that was tub.
And-
that was tub.
In
I thought-
French, piscine is how you say
I
it.
thought piscina was what do you call it? The fish bowls. That's what I thought
I
it
thought it
was.
was tub. My bad.
Yeah, in French, it's piscine. That's how you say pool.
Okay.
So I remember it was
Learn a
like
little Spanish. Learn a little
Okay.
French.
I know a
okay.
little French. I gotta add it in there.
He's trilingual.
How do you say?
Trilingual, that's right. Actually, I speak 4 languages. The 4th one is facts.
Okay.
Right.
Okay.
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 All right. ¿Cómo se dice tablecloth?
Ooh.
Oh, my mom always be telling me
You
too.
know this one.
That's
I feel like you
crazy.
should know
I
this
know,
one.
right?
Servilleta.
No. That's napkin.
I'm trying to remember like my mom yelling at me like to like
Go
put
get
on.
it. Go
I
get
know.
it. She's like,
I don't know.
how do you say it?
Give me hint.
It starts with an M.
La mata?
La mata.
You're close.
Yeah, bro.
Yeah, you're close. You're close.
Mata. I don't know. What is it?
Mantel.
Mantel.
That sounds familiar. I should have known that.
no. This is not going to look good.
Mom's gonna kill you.
I have test anxiety. It's not fair.
¿Cómo se dice breakfast?
Oh
This-
shit.
Desayuno?
Yeah.
No. Yeah.
Yeah, you
Yeah,
got
I
it.
was gonna say,
Wow.
wow.
Okay. He dabbles.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. I am in fact.
¿Cómo
My
se
parents
di-
did immigrate here.
¿Cómo se dice wallet?
Oh man.
Billete?
No.
No.
No, that's
Billete?
cash.
Cash.
That's bill. No, that's bill.
Wallet.
That's
wallet.
bill.
Wallet. I don't
Wallet?
remember.
Give me a hint.
It starts with the C.
That's
Cartera.
Yeah,
Cartera.
Cartera.
I was gonna say
Mhm.
carjeta, but that's
My
car,
dad
right?
always be saying that
Go
one.
give me my cartera.
Okay, ¿cómo se dice carpet?
Ooh. I should
Oh,
know that.
this is an easy one. Come on.
ahead, bro. Go ahead,
Who
get
didn't
it.
get yelled at for
Go ahead, get it. bro.
carpet?
Get it.
Is it with an R?
It's an
I don't know.
A.
It's an A.
Yeah, I don't know. A.
Fuck. I feel like I know this one. How can I not? I mean, come on. I obviously spilled some shit and like. No, I don't know. What is it?
Alfombra.
Alfombra.
No, I wouldn't have gotten that.
Every time you say these, I'm like, I feel like I should.
I wouldn't have gotten that one.
I should have known.
That one's not even. Doesn't even sound familiar.
Oh, how do you say throat?
Garganta. Come
Throw?
on.
Oh, I
Throat.
thought you said throw.
No, throat.
Throat.
Garganta.
Garganta. Shout out to my boy.
Shout out to Chad. How do you say tray?
Tray.
El tray.
Tray.
El tray.
I don't know.
Pásame el tray.
Mesita? I don't know. I
Mesita.
don't know.
Bandeja.
Bandeja. Yeah, I wouldn't have gotten that
wouldn't
either.
have got that.
El tray, I feel like I'd get half points
El
for that
tray.
All right, I'm trying to see these
one. ¿Cómo
other
se
ones.
dice los doyers?
Los doyers.
Los doyers.
Oh, ¿cómo se dice vacuum?
I should know this.
Oh, what the fuck? Aspiradora?
Yeah.
Aspiradora?
Aspiradora.
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 He's carrying now. He
Okay.
warmed up. He warmed
Okay.
up.
Yeah, well, I need
Okay.
to warm up, bro. I'm telling you, the test anxiety.
All right, ¿cómo se dice waist?
Waist.
Ah, okay.
Ooh. You forming the word?
Yeah. I'm like, I could feel it. Like,
Waist. Waist. Like I'm wasting something.
Like, okay, so cinturón is belt, right? Cinturón.
Yeah.
Okay.
Is that related in any way?
Yeah.
Is it really? So, right?
Waist like
Because I feel like I remember it being
Is it gastar?
similar. So,
waist like gastar.
No.
no, like waist, like your waist, fool.
Your waist.
Oh, like I thought it was like wasting something.
No. Like, yeah, your waist.
Oh fuck, I don't know that.
This.
It's
What is
like
it? What is
it's the middle, it's the center, it's your
tripas.
No, what is it? What is
it's
it?
tu cintura.
Cintura. Damn, we should have played this with
Cinturón?
Nana, bro. She
Cinturón?
would
She
have
would've
carried
known,
it.
she would've
See,
known.
cinturón, that's your
Cinturón?
belt, right?
Okay,
Yeah.
I guess. Yeah. Okay.
All right.
I knew it was related.
All right, ¿cómo se dice winter?
Fuck, we just talked about. We just. Es que
So
ya
ya-
va a ser.
So y'all know summer.
Yeah, it's because Bad Bunny.
Un verano sin
Un
ti.
verano sin ti.
Give me the first letter.
I.
Not about.
I.
Uh,
You're gonna say it, and I'm gonna be like, I should have known that.
I feel like I do know this one. Fuck.
I should have Primavera. I should have known that.
I even need to stop smoking weed, bro. It's too much.
When you smoke weed, just start speaking Spanish.
I don't know what it is, but when I smoke weed, my Spanish always like fucks
How
up.
often do people say seasons in like Spanish though, in day-to-day conversation?
Ya
The
me lo va a
one,
hacer.
the one that I never knew how to say was spring.
Primavera.
Primavera.
I feel like you are gonna say it, and I'm gonna be like, "Fuck, what is
Alright,
it?
what
What is
is
it?
it?
What is it?
Invierno.
Invierno."
I've heard that,
Invierno.
but I want to remember.
All right. I'll do like a couple more.
Okay.
¿Cómo se dice bucket?
Fuck. Oh,
El bucket.
El bucket.
El bucket.
el poquito.
El
El
bucket.
boquito.
No, I know this one. This is my dad always tells me. Fuck.
What is it then?
Bucket.
Bucket.
Man. Bucket. What's the first letter?
Cubeta.
Yeah, cubeta.
Wow.
I told you.
Okay.
I told you.
Okay.
I was literally. I had to close. If you could see it in the camera, I literally had to close my eyes and remember a memory of just like last Tuesday.
All right. ¿Cómo se dice cabbage?
Oh, what the fuck?
Mm-hmm.
El cabbage.
I like how you keep saying that.
I know these aren't gonna get old. I'm gonna keep saying el capito.
I feel like I know it.
Cabbage. It's like it's not anywhere close to actually being called cabbage, right?
No.
It's not like espinata,
No.
or it's like spinach espinata.
Give me what's the first letter?
R.
Ooh,
That's not looking good.
el cabbage. I don't know.
Reboso. I don't
Red
know.
chicken.
Red chicken.
Red chicken.
That's what it's called.
No.
Oh,
That's the hint. That's the hint.
Red chicken.
Red chicken.
repollo.
Repollo?
Yeah,
Repollo.
repollo.
I would not have gotten that shit.
Repollo?
I
That's
was
what
not
it's
gonna get
called
that.
in Spanish. Wow.
I knew it
Repollo.
wasn't anything close.
There's because they always confuse it with lechuga. So they say
Oh,
lechuga
yeah.
and
That's what
repollo.
I was looking for that. I was
Yeah.
gonna say. lechuga.
Yeah.
Lechuga and repollo.
Repollo.
¿Cómo se dice scissors?
Tijeras.
Okay.
I was gonna say it.
Wow.
I just it was I could see it coming. To
I know. Bro, the first four, I swear, the ones that you were getting, me too. If you had just given me one more second.
All right. ¿Cómo se dice ship?
Ship.
Barco? No.
Barco is boat, no?
Es barco.
Oh, really?
Oh, it is?
Yeah, it says barco.
Okay, nice.
Okay. El sheep.
Oh, shit. I wonder who's going to win, bro.
Oh, you probably already won by now.
All right. ¿Cómo se dice skunk?
It's
Oh,
Skunk.
that means like
Skunka?
that means skank, no?
I think so.
Skunka.
Es skunka.
I know it. No, wait.
No, you're thinking squirrel. How to
Yeah.
be a squirrel?
Yeah. Because obviously all the Mexican moms say it when they smell weed. It's like, I.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Huele a.
Skunka?
No, they don't say huele a skunka.
Huele a qué? Huele a qué?
Huele
¿A
a.
qué huele? ¿A qué
Huele
huele?
a.
Huele a qué?
I'm telling you, my mom
It's
always
there.
says it whenever she
It's
smells
there.
weed.
It's there. It's
Ay,
there.
huele a.
¿Cómo? ¿Huele a qué? No.
I had it. You interrupted me.
I'll give you
Neo? Yeah, give me what's the first letter?
Z.
Z. Z.
Z.
Wait a minute. Maybe I don't got it. Z. Zar.
Zeskunk.
Zeskunk. Zartia? No, Zar.
Zardia? You just add the
I
Z
keep.
on
I
top.
know. I
Zardia?
know.
I don't know.
So,
I don't
yeah,
know.
what is it?
Zorillo.
Zorio?
Zorio?
Zorillo.
Oh yeah, Sorio.
Huele a Sorillo.
Yeah, you're
Huele a-
right. You're right.
huele a
Sorio.
Sorillo.
Huele a
Okay.
Sorillo.
Iconic
Fuck
saying.
yeah! I'm telling you,
Ah,
when
that's
they
fun. That's
when you
fun,
hear that,
yeah.
that's like it smells like weed or whatever. They think because it smells like
All
weed's
right,
bad.
I'll try to do at least 3 more, and then I'm gonna try to see if we can do these other ones.
All right, but
All
it's
right.
actually pretty fun. I'm having a good time.
All right,
I'm learning, too.
You are. ¿Cómo se dice snail?
Man, where's my Spanish going?
Snail?
Snail.
I know this one too.
Snail.
Because when
You just add an E to everything.
Snail.
when my nephew was
Snail.
younger, he loved snails. So my mom would always be like, he picked up another el snail.
Snail.
No, I don't know this one. I don't get it.
Caracol.
No, yeah.
Caracol?
I wasn't-
Caracol.
No, what the fuck? My mama didn't say that. No way. I would remember.
I always think of caracol, every time I always thought of snail and caracol, I generally think about their shell. Caracol. For some reason, I feel like their shell is called caracol.
Caracol. Okay.
¿Cómo se dice lightning?
Oh, fuck. I know this.
Lightning?
Like
thunder and lightning?
It's like, fuck.
loose?
It's, fuck. I know.
Trenando? No,
That's
that's thunder?
thunder. Yeah. Fuck. What's the...
It starts with an R.
Rampuja?
No,
That, am
Such
I
an
anywhere
R?
close?
kinda.
Relámpago?
Relámpago.
Relámpago.
Yeah, he was close.
Relámpago. That's a cool name. Relámpago.
So I was right. I was
yeah,
right.
yeah.
I might name
But
my
you
kid
said
that.
you added something.
Relámpago, no?
Yeah.
I feel like
I mean, that's how it's
correct.
spelled out. Yeah.
That's good, bro. That was a really good one. I feel like that one's kind of a hard one.
Relámpago.
I know.
Ooh. ¿Cómo se dice mushroom?
Oh, I know this.
Of course you know this one.
I know this. Yeah, I do. Because when my
Of course you know
mom
this
found my stash, she was like, "What were you doing with a bunch of?"
Blank.
Someone, and then also pizza. They like mushrooms on their pizza.
Sure.
No, that's true. That one's true though. They do 100.
I believe you, bro. I believe you.
I hate you. I know this one.
Mushrooms.
Masharoon. Masharoon.
I like how you guys just add like all the accent.
What's the, give me a hint, please.
It starts with the C.
Fuck, I know this one. I really do.
He's gonna be like caracol.
I really do. I do really know this one though.
I'm just proud I got lightning.
Like Lightning McQueen.
Mm-hmm. Es relámpago.
I do know this one. It's fucking bothering me so bad, dude. I need to get this one or else. Ooh, I almost got our podcast canceled. I was about to say something crazy. No, I don't know. Julie, what is it?
It's champignon.
Champignon?
Like champagne?
Champignon?
Like champion?
Champignon.
Champignon.
Damn, that's not what the fuck? That's not what I was thinking about then.
What were you gonna say?
I don't know. I must have been thinking about something else.
All right. ¿Cómo se dice mustache?
Oh,
Bigote?
Mm-hmm.
man, I was so.
Come on, bro. I got the obviously.
Give me 1 second.
I got it.
All right. ¿Cómo se dice mattress?
Oh, I think I know this.
Good.
Mattress is cama. La
No,
cama.
that's bad.
Ah.
That's bad.
¿Quieres? Because you know how we always be switching mattresses too? I know my mom be saying
What?
that shit hella.
What's the first letter?
Sí.
Then yeah, I know what it is. Then yeah. Tuca.
Cama?
No. Tuca. I keep wanting to say coche, but I know it's not coche.
Isn't coche like car?
Yeah. It's like small car, I think, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know my mom be saying it hella because we always switch fucking mattresses. I keep wanting to say coche, but I know it's not coche.
You're close. You're pretty close.
Yeah?
Yeah.
I don't know. What is it? I give up.
Colchón.
Colchon!
I wouldn't have got that.
No, I would have gotten it for sure. If I had just gotten like 5 more minutes.
All right. All right. ¿Cómo se dice uña? Oh, shit. My bad.
Were you going to say nail?
Nail.
Wait, nail,
No,
right?
no,
Yeah,
no.
you
I
just
said
nail.
it first, though. I said it first.
It's fingernail.
I said it first.
I knew that shit was going to happen to me. I was waiting
it
for
first.
that.
I
I was
said it
waiting for
first.
that. ¿Cómo se dice uña? Oh, my God. Okay. We already did that one. All right. ¿Cómo se dice floor?
Piso?
I would have gotten that, but.
Oh, ¿cómo se dice donkey?
Steve.
Burro?
Wow.
He says Steve.
Come on, that wasn't funny. Come on.
Oh. ¿Cómo se dice drinking straw?
Drinking?
Popote?
Popote.
Damn. He beat me.
I got it.
All right. ¿Cómo se dice drunk?
Borracho?
Mm-hmm.
I would say tomado.
Tomado. I mean, people. My mom says that. So.
¿Cómo se dice eraser?
Borrador?
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
I dabble.
I
dabble.
I dabble.
getting
We
the
do
big
all right
one.
in Tijuana. I think we do all right in Tijuana.
Bruh.
I dabble.
All right. ¿Cómo se dice betray?
Betray? Like stab you in the back?
Like, yeah. Like they
Betray?
betrayed.
I genuinely
Whoa,
don't think
that
I
one's- yeah,
don't think
what
I've
the
ever heard
fuck?
that in a sentence.
What is it?
Traicionar.
Traicionar.
I probably heard that like in a corrido song or some shit.
Me traicionaste, güey.
You got it in the way.
¿Cómo se dice pregnant?
Embarazada.
He got it.
Okay. I was like, who got that
So
one?
how do you say embarrassed? What's the original?
Oh yeah,
yeah, embarrassed.
Estoy embarazada.
What's the actual way to say embarrassed?
Embarrassed?
Yeah.
Embarrassed? How do you say embarrassed?
I don't know.
Embarazada.
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 Estoy embarazada. Estoy
No, what is it? Embarrassed?
rado.
Pena?
No.
Pena is like
Like
no, that's not shy.
no, that's
It's,
not guilt either, right? It's pena is like shame, no?
I think so. I think it is shame.
Is that pena?
I'm trying to see if they have it on here.
They probably do.
Embarrassed?
You probably won't find it. There's too many cards.
Embarrassed?
Embarrassed.
Embarazada.
Embarazada, bro.
Embarazada.
Come on. Embarazado.
All right, let's do like 2 more.
Yeah, let's just do 2 more.
All right.
We can play this off camera.
All right. ¿Cómo se dice rainbow?
Oh, I know
Oh,
this. I know
fuck.
this. I know this.
I don't know.
I know. They used to say it all the time. They're like, "Oh, look at the." Give me the first letter.
A.
Fuck.
Damn, I have no idea, bro. Drawing a blank.
I fucking know this.
Couldn't even guess.
Oh my god, it's killing me. Like look at they used to
El
say-
rainbow.
No, because I remember because they'd be like they say trenando, relampago, and then like a rainbow would come out. They'd be like, oh, look at the. It's like, fuck, I'm not gonna get it. What is it?
No idea. What is it?
Arcoiris.
Fuck, I knew that. I
Arcoiris.
fucking knew
That's
that.
pretty.
Arcoiris,
That's pretty.
yeah.
I fucking knew that.
Arcoiris.
That's pretty.
All right, last one.
All right.
¿Cómo se dice roof? El roof.
El roof.
El roof.
I know this one. Obviously, I obviously know all the like blue collar ones.
El ceiling.
El ceiling.
The roof.
People are getting so tired of the. We made so many of the
Yeah.
L.
Like y'all racist.
Ceiling though.
Man, I can't believe I didn't get fucking arcoiris. I should have known that.
Damn. Give me a hint. Give me the hint.
T.
No, I don't know. Yeah.
Techo.
Techo.
I
Yeah.
should have known that.
Techo.
I should have known
Oh,
that.
yeah. So embarrassed is avergonzado.
Oh.
Well, that,
they,
Como
they have
vergüenza,
it
right?
in the orange one.
avergonzado.
So it says, ¿cómo se dice? Embarrassed. It's avergonzado. And then the penalty words are embarazado.
So if you say that, you take
And
a
it
shot.
is pena. And I said pena.
And if you say that, you take a shot.
You take a shot, yeah.
Well,
At
that's
least we
fun.
didn't say embarazado.
That's fun. This is a
Yeah,
fun game.
that was a fun game.
I like
And
this
then they
game.
have the other ones called like prueba time. It's called prueba time. And then like this question is like,
Prueba.
what's the breed of the hairless Mexican dog?
Oh, come
Solo
on.
eats
Sholo.
sweetly.
Sholo eats
Cholo-
quickly.
yeah, there you go. And then so they have like different versions of this. Like this is the one of the what's Selena's last name? And it's
Quintanilla.
Quintanilla. And then what does it? Whoa! Let's see if you guys know this one. What does it mean when you bite into a plastic baby in the rosca?
You gotta make tamales, right?
Mm-hmm.
Come on.
When?
Come on now.
When though? When? Do you know the date?
No. What's
So
the
it says you have to cook tamales for February 2nd, Dia de la Candelaria.
there you go.
There you go. And then they have other ones like chancla.
What
which
is that?
This one is te cacharon trying to sneak out at night. What's the best excuse you would use to not get in trouble?
Te cacharon.
Oh, shit. Iba a tirar la basura.
Tíralos.
Yeah, I was like, I went outside. Come on, you tell me that wouldn't work. I was going outside. Why are you dressed up? Es que no me sentí bien, entonces quería, no sé, me quería vestir bien porque I don't know, just fucking come with
Because I was embarazado.
Porque
Because I was
estoy muy
embarazada.
embarazado.
Well, shout out to
Shout out
Yo
to
Sabo.
Yo Sabo.
Yo Sabo.
That was pretty fun. Thank you
Yeah.
for sending us some cards. Check out their game.
I hope you guys enjoyed that.
We'll for sure be playing this at the next party.
Yeah, we'll
Yeah.
probably be playing it right now when the camera turns on.
Yeah, we definitely will. When
It's-
we get Izzy and Patrick here.
Oh, hell yeah. Honestly, we might be telling all our guests this, yeah. And honestly, shout out because I bet you this really does help people improve their Spanish.
For sure.
So,
And then just to, I guess, read a little bit from their little card because it just says, let's start off by saying muchas gracias and really thanks for supporting our small business. Yo Sabo the Game was created by a group of first-generation Mexican-American graduates.
wow.
So shout out to you guys. And the last part is they say that we believe this is important because no matter how much Spanish or how little we know, we are all in this together, unidos.
I like that.
Wow, I do like that
like
too,
that.
actually. Wow, it's beautiful. I think that's a good note to end this episode on.
Thank you guys for joining us. Shout out to our patrons, Cat Friend, Yoel, and Jada Chicano. If you'd like to join the Patreon, our link is always in our bio. Thank you guys for supporting us. This was an awesome episode, but we'll see you guys next week.
Bye.
Bye.